going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Join the VSLP Club. Turn on all post notifications for me, so you guys can stay in tune when I drop a video. Alright, so today's topic of discussion is actually what brought me into Maserati, what made me want a Maserati. Alright, so back when I was a kid, if you've been watching the channel, you guys have heard me mention this story in one of the vlogs. So when I was a kid, one of my dad's friends was like an uncle to me. He had a Maserati. He was actually always in the cars. Always went to car shows. We all always used to go to car shows. From New York, used to go to Detroit to go to car shows. Drive Philly to go to car shows. Javits Center, we had to the Javits Center so many times it kind of got old. So then we ended up kind of traveling, maybe doing little road trips. We started going up to Detroit for the car show, but we were always in the car. Like I said, him, my father, he's in the, very much in the cars as well, and myself. So probably when I was maybe 12, 13, 14 in there, somewhere in that range, he bought a Quattroporte, I believe 3, the one that was in The Godfather. I'm pretty sure that was the Quattroporte 3. But he bought the Quattroporte 3, pretty sure it was either black or extremely dark navy blue, with the that Ferrari tan interior, that dark tan interior with the gold clock in the middle. Yeah. So when he first brought it to me, it just looked when I first saw the car, it looked different because even with them, they used to buy he had a Range Rover, my father had a W140 S-Class. So you're talking about me seeing them two kind of cars and going to a Quattroporte was seeing a Quattroporte was it was just extremely different, So, we had run to the house, we all went out, for a ride in it. So I was in the back seat, and he wasn't really pushing it hard like that. And then he told my father to drive the car. They switched seats, and I was in the back seat, and my father mashed the pedal. He did that, my head snapped me back and pinned me to the seat. So when that happened, and this was a 4-door car, and this thing was not small. It was not the Quattroporte is not a small car. So you're talking about being in, a 140. A 140 has a little bit of punch to it, but it didn't, it wasn't pinning you like that, So when it pinned you, and then you heard the way it sounded, I was like, oh, wow, this is, this is something crazy. I want one of these. I want me a Maserati, So, yeah, pretty much that's what happened. That's what I remember because it was so long ago. But I always remembered that car. And I always remember that car. Fast forward to probably about 15, a couple of years later, we were in, we actually drove to Philly for a car show, and they had Maserati was just re-releasing back to the US. I'm pretty sure they were just re-released. I don't even know if they dropped yet. I think this might have been still car show. I don't know I don't think they were prototypes, but I think they were. Yeah, it might have been a little bit prior to Maserati dropping. I'm not sure. I can't really remember because I'm pretty sure the GT and the Spider, the Coupe and the Spider were the first ones to come back out. So I know these were the first Maseratis that were collaborated with Ferrari. So I had never really saw a Maserati, a new Maserati. I've seen the old ones, the Quattroporte and Turbo, but I had never saw a new modern one, So when I saw that one, And I'm pretty sure I played it in a video game. That's how I knew about it. I don't know how else I would know about it, unless it was, you know, at one of the car shows or a magazine or something. But, you know, the new ones, you know, because the new ones weren't here. Like, if you guys remember back then, in like 99, 98, they didn't have Maserati in the U.S. You know, it wasn't really till like mid 2000s that you really started to see one or two, you know. So yeah, mid 2000s, that's when they re-released. I think you might have seen one or two. Not even when they re-released, you didn't see a ton of them, you know, and you really didn't. And if you weren't in the cars, it's not like there were so many Maseratis around prior to them leaving the U.S. that you wouldn't notice the difference. There wasn't, you know. So I'm pretty sure like these were the first ones that were. I'm not sure if they were released yet, to be released, but I sat in a GT coupe. Okay. Now, I really liked the car. I still remember the car was yellow. Okay. It was at the car show. I still remember it. I got in the car pretty okay. It was tight, you know, and it was tight, but it was pretty okay. Like, I got in there, you know. Now, when I got in the car, it was very tight, you know, with my knees, you know, but everything else was decent. But when I had to try to get out the car, that's when I had a problem. And virtually I had to crawl out, you know. Now, I don't know if the steering wheel, you know, couldn't move the steering wheel or the seat and all of that, but, you know, that car, to me, it kind of broke my heart, because that was the first time that I had ever been too big to really fit comfortable in a car, you know. So that car to me was always like, man, like, yo, I love that car, but I can't fit in that car realistically. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen, you know. So yeah, you know, and ever since then, like, I had always loved Maseratis, especially since it had, you know, Ferrari engine and all of that. You know, I had loved, you know, Maserati. And the Ferrari engine really didn't make it for me, because I liked them before that, Ferrari collaborations. But they, you know, that just added a little bit of extra on me. You know, but that's pretty much the story. Really on how I got into Maserati and how I got to know about the brand. You know, the Granturismo. Actually, first time I saw Granturismo, I was in high school. Okay, and I don't remember what grade I was in, but I was in high school, and I was at the end of my block. I was doing something down there. I don't know what I was doing. I was down at the end of my block. I don't know if I was walking to the house or whatever. Walking to go somewhere. I'm not sure. And I wasn't even driving yet. I was nowhere close to driving. But I had seen, pretty sure it was a woman too, in a blue, like dark navy blue Granturismo with the fog lights. So like the earliest versions, you know. After the sword, you know, all these birds flying around. I don't know if something just dropped on the car. They weren't here just a second ago. But anyway, I had seen a woman driving a navy blue Granturismo, pulled up, man, and it wasn't even really about the sound, because I don't remember how it sounded, but the car just looked so crazy to me, you know, and it did, like, it just looked so, like, whoa, like, whoa, that grill, like, when you see that grill for the first time, it's just a crazy look, you know. Yeah, and I was like, yo, that is crazy. Like, to me, it looked like some kind of, like, I don't know, man, it's some kind of crazy looking car, like, with the lights, the grill, and everything, you know. So that was the first time I had seen a Granturismo live in person, you know, in the wild. So I had always remembered, you know, that car, and I was like, yo, man, like, I gotta get one of those, like, one day, like, you know. So boom, you know, that's how that happened, you know. Yeah, that seems like such a long time ago. Yeah, navy blue Granturismo, driven by a female. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, if it's the same lady, I'm pretty sure she still has it. You know, because I did go into the town next to me, drive over there, and that was I think maybe like a year before I bought this car, 2 years, something like that. It was very close to when I bought this car, and I had seen a navy blue Granturismo, and I was like, yo, maybe that's, and it was driven by a female, so I was sitting there like, Maybe that's her. That has to be her. I mean, how many females driving a navy blue Granturismo around here? You know, so there's not many Granturismos, period. You know, so I seen like, yo, that has to be her. So yeah, you know, I actually saw another guy with one in white. You know, up on Westbury. You know, a little bit not too far from me, but I seen one with white. I think I've seen him again. I'm not sure if it's the same guy. You know, but whatever it was, you know, yeah, you know. So I did see a couple of them around. Even when we go out east, like I seen a few out there. There was a guy with a red MC, dark red MC. It was a guy with a navy blue convertible MC. You know, so there was a few of them, a couple of them around, not a lot of them, but a couple of them around. So, you know, it definitely influenced me to want to get one after I seen it. That's why I tell you guys, if you guys want the value of these cars to go up so much, you know, these are the two ways you can do it. You can either not drive the car at all and save the mileage, or you can, you know, get out, bring the car out, bring the car to car shows. You know, let people see it, let people drive it, because not let people drive it, let people see it, you know, and you drive it, you know, but, you know, the car needs to be seen. I know a lot of you purists that hate people customizing Granturismos, but you guys, you're gonna have to realize that if the car wasn't made in super limited numbers, that you're gonna need people to customize them. You're gonna need people to crash them. Unfortunately, you're gonna need people to, you know, kind of do things to them to lower the numbers of the ones that are, you know, in really good condition, original, you know, whatever it, you know, whatever may have you, you know. But and then you got some with, you know, crazy high mileage. Not crazy high mileage, but for supercars, it's high mileage. So it's kind of like throws it off with the prices. Because I went on Car Gurus maybe yesterday, 2 days ago, and I was seeing something that was like low 30s for like, you know, with 80,000 miles on them. And it sounds kind of crazy until you look at a Porsche and you see how those trade with that kind of mileage. So, you know, that's why I say, like, maybe, and you guys put in the comment section what you guys think could drive the value of the car up. You know, me personally, I don't think it's a car that, you know, even if we do all the driving and bring it to car shows and vlog it all we want to, I don't think it's a car that will appreciate. Very few cars appreciate, you know, that fast in a lifetime where you can make a lot of money. Now, if you're looking to make $1, $2, $3, you know, up to $5,000, $10,000, okay, I understand that's, you know, what you do, you know. But for me, you know, and when you're talking about, you know, a value of a car going up and all that, I'm thinking you're talking about some Barrett Jackson, you know, going across the auction block, and, you know, and it's like, you know, a small little lotto hit or something. You know, that's what I'm thinking you guys are talking about. If you're talking about 1 or 2,000, I understand that. That's what you want to do. 5,000, that's what you want to do. You know, but I'm talking about, you know, when I say like this is a car that's for your grandkids, you know, to put across Barrett Jackson, it's like, you know, I'm talking about how was it 3200 GT or 3500, 32? I'm not exactly sure what the number is, but, you know, a lot of older Maseratis, like I'm saying, these are, you know, for your grandkids, you know, maybe your kids, you know, but definitely your grandkids, great grandkids to, you know, flip and put across an auction block. You know, Maseratis notoriously depreciate, you know, until they get, you know, to be a classic age, and they start to go up. If you guys want to, you know, see what I'm talking about, look at a Maserati, look at the Bora, look at the old Quattroportes, the 2s, the 3, I mean the 2s and the 1s. I don't think the 3s have appreciated yet, started to appreciate yet, maybe a little bit for the really good ones, you know, but look at the Common, the Cosmin, I think it is. You know, there's quite a few Maseratis that, the Maroc, you know, there's quite a few Maseratis that are starting to appreciate from the 60s, the 70s. You know, the Quattroporte 3, I'm pretty sure that ran into the 80s. So that shouldn't be on target. So, you know, in a few years, maybe that one will be on target. The bi-turbo, I think even though that car, they say is unreliable, just completely unreliable. I do think it has a place only because it's the first car to have a bi-turbo. So I see that, eventually appreciating, not now, but, eventually, years from now, quite a few years from now. So that's not I don't believe Maserati is a short-term play on the car unless maybe you're doing something limited. Again, to me, it's more similar like Aston Martin, where the only Aston Martins you see really appreciating are the more limited number ones, and not really the more common production or so in my estimation, if you want to buy a Gran Turismo and you want to, hold it for a value play, I would say you're gonna have to hold it for a few years and not drive it. Now, if you want to, something for your grandkids, then you can probably enjoy the car. I wouldn't say go crazy on the mileage, but definitely try to keep it under like 60. Under 55 would be better, but definitely try to keep it under 60. You look at where all the classic cars trade. Once they go over 60,000, it's like a different game. But as long as you stay under 60, it's kind of, it's still a different game from 30 and 20 and 10 and all that. But under 60 is a lot better than over 60. So keep that in mind if you don't want to really drive it, or you want to drive it a certain amount of time. I do plan on keeping the Gran Turismo. I don't really plan on selling it. Like I said, it's one of my, it's a car for my kids to sell, or their my grandkids to sell. You get a DB9, the same thing. It's not, those aren't cars that I'm playing for. No, those aren't cars that I would play to try to make $1 on fast. If you want to make $1 on a car, I would say go get a car that's limited numbered. Go get a car that's limited. Go get a car that, the production numbers are super low. I think that's how you're gonna do it. All the old Italian cars, for the most part, all the old cars that go up, for the most part, the production numbers are low on the cars themselves, and then they have limited production series within that, model. So, I think if you guys wanna, play on a Gran Turismo, get an MC, Euro MC with no back seats, that one will definitely skyrocket, I think. I had the harness coming out of the seatbelts. The seatbelts coming out of the middle. I think that's the one. I think that is the one. The MC with the back seats. I think that's second. GTS 4.7 third. And so on and so forth. But I think again, this is not a car that you play for right now. It's a play for when you're old. Or if you're my age, okay? If you're like 80, or if you're like 60, 70, it's for your grandkids, great-grandkids, The car will definitely appreciate for them. You have to look at the older Aston Martins, look at the older Maseratis, and you just look at history, They won't appreciate like a Lamborghini because the car isn't, the production numbers are bigger than, Lamborghini. They're larger than by like 3 times, I think. I think that the Aventador is only like 9,000 and change. I don't think it touched 10. Or maybe it touched 10, 11, something like that. I'm not sure. There's not a lot of them. But that's why the values of them kind of, stay where they are. And then you have the limited series within that model. So you guys shouldn't be looking at it. I mean, if you're going to look at it like that, the Gran Turismo, then I would say get a MC Centennial, a GTS, the anniversary edition, certain stuff like that. If you don't want to do an MC, or if you're in America, you can't get the 2-seater MC, which So yeah, guys. I mean, that's basically But I went off on a tangent again on values, but basically that's what got me into Maserati. Also, when I was probably I forgot about this story, when I was in high school again, my father went to look at the Quattroporte V in Burgundy. That was a nice car with actually dark tan interior. That was a really nice car. The only thing I don't remember is them hitting the support button, which is kind of weird, you know. But yeah, you know, I really enjoyed that car. I actually want one of those Quattroporte V, as you guys know. And I wouldn't mind in the same color. But if you haven't already, hit the like, share, subscribe button, join the VSOP Club, turn on little post notifications for me. And I'm going to check in with you guys in the next video. I'm out.